How y'all doing? I told you, Wednesday, baby. Wednesday evening, by the time you see this, hump day's over with. You got a day and a half left till the weekend. We can hang on till then. They come around pretty quick, but they go pretty quick, too. So, anyway, you're on the downhill slide to the weekend. Well, what's going on in the news? Well, if you turn on the news, it ain't nothing good going on. Last night, the hurricane out there, Maria, hit Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory with U.S. citizens in it, and just devastated the island, knocked out power to the whole island. I understand there's massive devastation there. And if that wasn't enough bad news, Mexico got hit with an 8.1 earthquake. Well, I'll tell you what, that's bad. I seen them up there a little while ago in the news. They're still trying to dig children out of a school that collapsed in Mexico City. I don't know, dozens of buildings that collapsed, and the death toll is going to be pretty high, I fear. And it's terrible. I'll tell you what, as bad as a hurricane is, I'm a coastal boy. I'll take a hurricane over an earthquake or a tornado any day. At least them things, they just pop on you real quick. At least a hurricane, I can plan for that thing. I can see it coming. But them earthquakes and things like tornadoes, they hit people before they even know what's coming. And it just devastated Mexico, and our hearts go out to everybody down there, and to those of Puerto Rico. And as well, still dealing down here in Florida and in Texas. It's been a rough time here lately, and I sure hope Mother Nature calms down a bit. Anyway, what's going on in the news? Well, Don the Con is upset. Donnie boy, Donnie is upset. Who's he upset with now? Well, of course he's upset with Hillary. Well, why? Because she criticized his speech that he made to the UN. You know, he got up there and spoke so eloquently. Right! Yeah, that's what he should have done, but he didn't. Hillary said that his speech was dark and dangerous, and indeed it was. For a sitting president to sit up there at the UN and like I said yesterday, go around and kick everybody in the shins that you don't like, and then expect everybody to cooperate with you. Yeah. She said it was not the kind of message the leader of the greatest nation in the world should be delivering. You should be talking with diplomacy in mind, trying to avoid conflict. Not Donnie. Donnie got out there and just kicked him right in the shin and said total destruction. And, oh, by the way, here Iran, take a kick in the shin, and, you know, that's Donnie. Venezuela, here, you get a kick too. And the Iranians aren't too happy about Donnie's statement about them, because evidently it's been verified that they've kept their end of the bargain, the deal. But that's the word Donnie don't like. Donnie doesn't like the word deal. Donnie always thinks I can get a better deal. Remember, he can get us a better deal on the Paris Climate Accord. I don't know what kind of deal he's going to make with Mother Nature. We want smaller hurricanes. Yeah, Donnie, go ask Mother Nature that shit. She'll just cough it up for you. And, man, it's ignorance at beyond, where was I? Ignorance, just ignorance. I got distracted. Anyway, he should be leading with diplomacy to try to avoid war, but that's not Donnie. Donnie tweeted out, after allowing North Korea to research and build nukes while she was Secretary of State, and Bill C, crooked Hillary criticizes. There you go with the rocket man, the crooked Hillary. Don the Con. Don the lion asshole. I could come up with lots of names for Donnie the Dick. Orange orangutan. There's lots of shit we can call you, Donnie. And I enjoy calling you that because that's what you are. You're a dick. And you do dick shit. But I have no problem calling him names like that because of that. He calls crooked Hillary, lying Ted, low energy this, blah, blah, blah. Look at that. He's a jerk. So I treat him just like an asshole that he is. He's Don the Con, the lying asshole president we got. And North Korea, you know, he's kicking him in the shins. And the deal there is that the key to North Korea, get that out of my mouth, is and has always been China. China controls North Korea. But there's a problem with China. What's up? Well, Donnie the Dick. Because Donnie is upsetting the Chinese because of his back and forth with Donnie's mouth, his Twitter, and everything else. One day he says something good about China. The next day it's right in the toilet with China, and they're just manipulators, and they're doing this and that and the other. And he says China's not helping enough, blah, blah. Oh, China's a nice guy. He's back and forth on all that shit, and that's getting China pissed off. I had it written down here. The dollar is now at the lowest since 1986 when you're talking about terms of international commerce. Used to be the only thing in international commerce that was used was the dollar. If you traded oil anywhere in the world, you traded it with the dollar. Not now. Now it's the Chinese yen. And that's the preferred currency and like doing oil deals and everything now. Because Russia started accepting the Chinese yen. And before they didn't. They only accepted US dollars with oil trade. But now, And China's kind of sucking up with everybody over there. Why? Because our president just is a wishy-washy asshole. And those transactions estimate an $800 billion loss to the United States because they're not traded in dollars. And I'm not sure how they came about that number. That's what it was written down. And I thought, wow, that's a lot of money. But oil is a lot of money. That's how come I always talk about the oil fields up there in the Arctic, in the Russian Arctic. That's a drop in the bucket to how much oil is up there in those reserves. And that is worth billions upon billions upon billions of dollars, and they will do anything to get it out. They got to get it out. They got to get it on the market, or it's just no good. It's just oil. Anyway, Donnie is not stable because he criticizes China on one day and changes the next. What is that guy's name? Shen? I know I was going to mess this up, people. Shen Shuhu. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a great big Chinese guy. He knows everything about Chinese. And the problem, he says, is that Trump is becoming more of a problem. Every time he opens his mouth, it contrasts to everything he does. It's the same thing we've talked about before when he goes out and says one thing or does one thing and then he comes out and says another. Well, like he did with the DACA when he went to the Democrats, say we're going to make a deal and the wall's not included and everything out, and the Democrats come out and say we made a deal, and the White House comes, oh no, we didn't make a deal, we didn't say that. It's that kind of shit. And Donnie does that crap all the time. And he's done it to the Chinese. He's doing it to them. One day he says something great, next day, oh yeah, he's told, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Oh, I didn't have this written down. See there, buddy? I'm getting all messed up sometimes. I had a story, and it was about the Turkish president. The Turkish president just came out and said that Donnie came out and apologized for when the Turkish president was here that visited last time with Donnie. There was a scuttle with some protesters were outside where the Turkish president's bodyguards kicked the shit out of a bunch of protesters. Well, Donnie supposedly apologized for that incident to the president of Turkey because that's what the president of Turkey came out and said. And the White House came out immediately and said, oh no! We had a discussion about that incident, but there was no apology. We didn't say that. See, it's that kind of lying-ass crap, the two-faced shit that Donnie pulls all the time. He's a con man. That's what he does. He's nothing but a con man. And that's what he's pissed off, the Chinese are pissed off about, is back and forth, back and forth. And you got to remember, China owns most of our debt. We owe China a lot of money. But that, Donnie just thinks dollars for Donnie. His bribe collection centers out there are doing a booming business. The one in Washington is booked up for some big thing for some other country. I read it. I'll have it on my show when it comes up. Anyway, some big country is having a bash over here, and they've rented up all the stuff from the International Bribe Center there in Washington, D.C., and that's how he gets his money. All of them, everywhere around the world, are getting booked by people who are just paying his ass off to get favor with our president. It's just a booming business. It's money-making deal. That's what it is. Anyway, Jimmy Kimmel calls Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy a liar. Well, that's not hard to do. You could just about call every politician up on that hill a liar. And because they all lie one way or the other, they all say that. Well, they all lie. Yeah, but Some of them get caught at it. And Jimmy Kimmel called old Senator Bill Cassidy. Called him a liar because when Bill was on Jimmy's show there, remember, he's right after Jimmy Kimmel's child was born, had some problems up there, and he made a deal about that, and a good deal. And Bill Cassidy came on his show and that he would not support anything that did not have coverage for all, no discrimination for pre-existing conditions, and lower premiums for the middle class. And he said he will not support a bill that doesn't do all of that. And what does he do? He goes around and supports a damn bill. They're up there now trying to close down Obamacare again, because it does none of that shit. The CBO hadn't even come out with a report. They don't even know what the hell it will do. They just want to pass something. This is what I meant the other day. They don't give a shit what is in that bill. They are hungry for a win. They have done shit since they got in there legislatively. All his bullshit talk, it's just that. It's Don the Con selling shit. Anyway, Jimmy Kimmel thinks he's a liar. And he wants Bill Cassidy to quit using the Jimmy Kimmel test in his speeches as he goes around town, because he made a deal with Jimmy Kimmel and he's going to make sure it passes the Jimmy Kimmel test, because that's used as politicking. Jimmy Kimmel don't want his name associated with your ass anymore, Bill. He said that you ought to use a lie detector. Well, maybe that ought to fix some things up there in Washington. Maybe all of them need to start taking a little lie detector test. I think personally every one of them ought to have their stock portfolio out there in front of their desk and show every company they're invested in. That'll tell you who they're voting for. Yeah. Anyway, that's about what I got going on. There's so much devastation going on all over the place, and you get something that reaches out, touches your heart, and just warms your soul all over the place. Deborah Garlic up in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. That's a angel with a blue dot, and actually, she sent 2 of them, and a very nice gift. Let me tell you. She sent 2 of them. There's 2. One for me, and one for Maestro. So Maestro, I know you're going to be watching this later. I'm going to bring your angel over tomorrow, probably. I'll come over and visit. And I might bring the camera, so heads up. And Deborah sent us an amazing gift and the 2 angels. And, you know, I'm not that big a religious guy, but, you know, I believe in the goodness of the heart. I believe in treating your fellow man right. And I believe all the things that those religious people tell you should feel. Except I don't have a pre-requirement to do it. I just like to do it because it's what you should do. Deborah, thank you very much. Those angels, Mama's already claimed that for the Christmas tree. She said that's going on the Christmas tree. Because we've been together 41 years. And we've kept Christmas ornaments from the time when we first got married, and some when she was a child, some when I was a child. So our Christmas ornaments that we put on our tree are every one of them special to us, and that's going to be on our tree every year from now on, and we're going to know who put it there. So I'm just amazed with sometimes with the outreach that we've had in this family, this Blue Dot family that we've started, and I brag to whoever will listen. When I got a big grin on my face at the post office, which I went today, mailed some more shirts out today. And I'm getting them in sporadics, so we put them out when we get them. But when I'm at the post office, I'm at the store or something, if I'm grinning, I'm talking to somebody about this Blue Dot family we've got and how big it is and how lovely it is. And it warms my heart. I love to spread that message. And I like it. It makes me feel good. And I hope it makes you feel good too. Anyway, Blue Dots around the world and around the country. Like, share, and subscribe. John Brittleville, Blue Dot in Texas. Got to say this every time. My son insisted. Anyway, a Blue Dot in Texas on YouTube. And yesterday I had a little problem with my video. I got shorted out of 4 minutes, so we had to redo it. But we finally got it up, I believe. Anyway, John Brittleville on Facebook. John Brittleville Speaks on Facebook, my fan page. And on Twitter and everything else. And I just appreciate y'all so much. This family has been so good to me. It just warms us up every day. And when we get gifts like this, it blows me away sometimes. Anyway, y'all have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.